Today we're going to explore a little bit about mixed media with ScanNCut. We have Julie Fei-Fan Balzer here to show us just a little bit of how you create your own stencils, Julie. Is that what you're going to do today?
Of course. So what I've done is I've just drawn a couple designs just with a black marker onto a piece of paper, and I'm going to scan those in right now. So I've loaded my mat. I'm going to choose scan. I'm going to scan it to cut data, and I'm going to press start. And the machine is just going to take that in, and it's basically scanning all that material right in there. Now I just want to talk really briefly about stencil designs. The one thing you want to think about when you're creating a stencil design is that the stencil can't fall apart. So remember that anything that's a hole is going to be missing from the design. I know it sounds silly, but I've made a couple stencils where I was like, oh, that didn't turn out how I thought.
I agree.
So here you go. I'm going to choose to do the outline scan right there. It's going to say processing. And one thing I like to do with hand drawings is I like to do this thing called delete size, because I think it gives a slightly more accurate to your hand-drawn line. I like a wonky design. That's my personal style. So I'm going to choose that. It's going to make it very accurate. I'm going to drag in these edges because I want to be right as close to that design as I can get without actually going over. And once I've done that, then all I have to do is say save. It's going to process it, and I get to choose now whether I want to save it to USB or into the machine. I'm going to choose the machine right there. And then it's going to tell me what it has saved it as. And you can see there's my file name. I know it's number 21. And if I press my home button to go back, then I can go into patterns. I can choose save data. Again, I want to choose from the machine. And I'm going to go through, and there it is, number 21. There's my stencil design ready to go.
Perfect.
So I happen to have some stencil material which I've already applied to a cutting mat, and all I would do would be to load this into the machine and cut it. But I have some over here which I've already cut. I do want to have one little note, which is I happen to be using a heat gun, and I kind of warped this one a little, but that's no worries. It still works. It works fantastically, in fact.
Yeah.
And the evidence of that is that I mixed up some stamps, a hand-carved stamps, ink, some paint, some spray ink, some
Just
watercolor,
having fun.
Whatever's in your studio, whatever's close to you. I'm a fan of using whatever you have on hand. And I made these tags, and you can see that it's just layers of stenciling and stamping, paint, ink, lots of color, lots of fun. And one little note I want to give is I actually fed this painted tag once it was dry right through the machine, okay, and cut out the for you, simply backed it with a little bit of paper, and now I have a great gift tag to put on something.
That's great. And it's made by you. It's
Yes.
exactly, it's your style, your design, totally custom for that person that you care about.
It's authentically you.